This is a DC selector switch that can connect something, usually a boat motor or maybe a trolling motor, to one 12-volt battery or a different 12-volt battery or both 12-volt batteries at the same time. It's actually ready to go up to 48 volts. So I was sent this to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you about $25. They haven't paid me for my review, and my opinions remain my own. Right, so in the box we get the switch itself, along with these little guys you can put over cables to kind of protect the cables coming into the box. Now it comes with these screws here that can go through the box from the front to mount it to something. And they have these guys labeled. We have number 1, we have number 2, and we have the output. And these are rated at 300 amps, and the posts certainly look strong enough to handle 300 amps. So the switch has off. You can connect to battery 1. If you go in the opposite direction, it'll connect to battery 2. And if you go down here, it will connect both batteries together to the output. So although it includes cable boots, it does not include a ring terminal. And so you're going to need to provide your own 10mm ring terminal. In inches, this is a 0.38 inch diameter post. So the opening for the cable here is about 11 millimeters, but these guys are, pretty stretchy rubber, so they could go over something bigger. And they'll slide down the cable. You have to put the ring terminal and tighten this thing down, and then you pull them up the cable and push them over the top of this guy like that. Now for these nuts on the back, a 15mm socket seems to work the best. So a 5/8 kind of jumps around it. The open-end box here kind of works, but really 15mm is the way to go. Alright, just a sanity check. I have it between the output and 1. So we have continuity at 1, we have continuity at 1 plus 2, and it's not connected when it's on 2 or off. I've also verified the same behavior that, the 2 and the 1 plus 2 connects that to the output. And the 1 and the 2 inputs are only connected together when this guy is set to 1 plus 2. So this back case has one opening pre-broke out, and then it has 3 other openings that could be broken out. And so you're basically free to set this guy up in whichever orientation you want. So you could potentially have 2 wires coming in the bottom like that and just use it like that, although it would be upside down in that case. So if you wanted to route the wires out the bottom, it really wouldn't fit around these 2 things. So you really can't do that. You'd have to break these out and kind of route around the side. Now this guy doesn't have to be mounted, flush back here. You can also cut an opening and mount this flush in a panel. Now if you did that, these screws wouldn't be useful, and they don't provide any other mounting hardware, so you would have to provide your own mounting hardware to go into a panel. Now, there doesn't appear to be a way for me to open this up and actually see the switch mechanism. It feels pretty hefty when you turn it. It takes a decent amount of force and kind of snaps back in place. There's no way for me to really verify that it's really good to 300 amps, but the hardware on this end of things and the kind of feel of it seems like it could be. So I don't know if I'd trust this to a full 300 amps, because 300 amps is an awful lot of power. I don't know what the contacts inside there are, but I'm thinking 50 or 100 amps would be no problem. 300 amps, this guy might get warm, might start to overheat, I don't know. Maybe it's really good in a low resistance contact in there. Alright, checking the resistance on this circuit, and we basically want it to be 0 ohms between everything here. Alright, between 1 and the output we have 0. Between 2 and the output, getting a 0 or a negative 0.1, which I think might be my body. Alright, between 2 and the output we have a 0. And between 1 and 2 we have 0 ohm resistance. So congratulations, it's working like a proper switch.